c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6. So now white played f3. So what is this variation? Yes, sorry, Pavani, you raised your hand. I didn't notice that. You have something to
Yes,
say?
I wanted to see the before variation, but you told the answer, so now it's okay.
Okay, okay. Just a second.
Sir, I was getting I saw a variation in which I was getting a queen.
You're getting a queen.
Yeah, in that one. Hello,
Yes, yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so
Okay,
I saw.
so what is this f3?
So,
Hmm.
it's trying not for us to develop the bishop, because right now the bishop cannot move on 3 squares. It can just move on 2 squares, the white bishop.
The bishop on c8, you say that I can't develop
Oh
it.
yes, it can only move on 2 places.
Hmm. Okay, so this f3 is called Samish variation, King's Indian Samish variation. Okay, so the idea of this move is to make your center very, very strong. So there are some ways to handle this position. Uh, some ways immediately by doing castling, and then try for the e5 break or the c5 break, which is quite popular in this position. Or some other way is there, which is of knight to c6, and slowly try to break the c4 pawn by moving rook b8, a6, and b5. So this is a very interesting plan developed in the developed by grandmasters in positions like this, how to break this position. In a normal game, what happens now? Let's say I do castling. Okay, let's say I'll go to the main move like castling. White will play bishop e3. Now there are only two breaks left. One is either e5 or give a c5 break, right? Okay, c5 break looks like I'm losing a pawn. Like you have seen the two attacks are there, but that's a trap. If you want, I will show. Anyone want to know?
Yes, sir, I want to see.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes,
Okay. Just
sir. Yes,
wait.
sir.
Right. I'll show you. Right. So c5 looks like a clear pawn down, right? It looks like pawn down, and it's going to be an end game also after queen's getting exchanged. But that's fine. Black have a very good compensation. If c5, white captures dc5, and black captures dc5. And now white quickly trades the queen off and bishop c5. Oh, see, now it looks like an end game where I pawn down. But the problem is now, because of this structure, white's development on the king side becomes too delayed. See, his knight is not actually coming to a proper square. It needs to go to something like e2 and g3. And the bishop also, I don't see a very good future for the bishop. So in this position, what happens is my knights are going to be dominating the game. I'll show you. I'll develop knight to c6 because I'm losing one more pawn with bishop e7. So let's say white also continues development with knight ge2. And now I come with this tricky move knight to d7, which threatens the bishop. So bishop should move back, right? And only good looking square is this e3. And then I'll play knight to e5, which threatens the pawn. So what to do? White should move this knight to give a protection. Simply moving one more pawn doesn't really make sense. But if you move the pawn also, I'll show you what happens. So let's say knight should move. And the only best square is knight to f4. And even if you try something like knight g3, he will be simply lost. I have one more knight which is coming to b4 square. Now knight to c2 is a 4. And I have no way to stop it. If I play rook c1, there is a knight, one more fork coming on b3 square, and capture. At least I'll have an exchange up, and black is definitely better. So this is what happens if you play knight to g3. But even if you play knight to f4, which is a best variation, maybe I can just still continue the same thing. Knight to here. Let's see one more possible. Two, three, six. No, I think now rook d1 will. Something which I'm missing here. Okay, this is a very good position.
This is I think so. No, that will not work.
What happened?
Sir, I
Sir?
was thinking of knight to c2, but rook takes is
Knight
completely
c2
losing.
check, king e2.
It's not helping.
No.
Not helping, but okay, so let me check both maybe. It's a line which is refuted by top players. Okay, I missed a move. Not rook to d1, rook c1, bishop e6. Yeah. So this is the line. See, bishop e6, d3, and I play g5, knight e6, f6, knight e6 check, and I can get the rook with a check. And something like this position I'll get. Okay. Okay. Anyways, we'll go back. So this is about c5, which if you want, you can try this. A tricky move for white always. But anyways, after c5, the main line says don't take the pawn and go for d5. Okay. So this is about the c5, but anyways, we are not seeing c5. We are seeing first the variation with knight c6. And there is a move with e5 also. This is also a bit tricky one. If I play e5, in this Samus variation, white quickly goes for the pawn to d5. Now here also there are two ways to continue. Some try the pawn to c6, which is quite possible, and some will directly play knight to h5, preparing so f5 break early, which is quite possible. So in this also I like the move pawn to g4 more than anything, because this is one of the plan why I played f3. And if you play knight f4, queen d2, and if you give a natural break like f5, I simply capture, and white will simply castle long. And slowly he will start moving something on the g file, and white should be okay. So even black can also play well. It's not like black is losing. But there is a risky line with queen d2, where Gary Kasparov has played a nice novelty in this queen d2 with a queen sacrifice line. So I'll show you that. He played queen h4. It looks like so bad, but this is actually a very brilliant queen sacrifice line. When I get some time, maybe I'll show in some more classes after this. After queen h4, white player played g3. Knight takes g3. Now f take g3, queen into rook is coming. So white have seen this and still played this because he has a brilliant move queen to f2. Now knight got pinned up, and I can't unpin. I can't unpin, right? So here white is thinking that he's winning a simple piece, that he can't do anything. I can't do anything. I can't just take the rook because I'm losing the queen. So black is a full piece down. Even if I play knight f5, he'll simply take the f5 because queen is supported. But black have a brilliant move, that is of knight to f1. Of a queen sacrifice, then he will take knight into e3, king e2 and knight into c4. So here I got two bishops and two pawns, which is technically of 8 points compared to the queen, which is of 9 points. Hardly a pawn down. But the minor pieces are going to be too much strong here. Because see, you see what is the weakness in this position? Black really have nothing, have no weaknesses. And everything looks like so solid. So practically it says that white is slightly better, but when you comes to playing the games, black have the major score in this position. So after that they have introduced this G4 system where now Queen H4 is not possible because of Bishop F2, and Queen should move and I will lose the piece. So then I have to play Knight F4, Queen D2, and now castle. White has a very decent game. Okay, so this is about E5 and C5. There are some other variations also, but first we are going to see the variation of knight to C6. So here, bishop E3, knight to C6. So this is something very interesting. Okay, so knight to C6. Sorry. In this game, no, not castling. Knight to C6 here. Bishop to bishop to E3. Pawn to A6. Queen D2. Yes, rook B8. D5. Knight to E5. Okay, so here white played the pawn to H3. So H3 idea is very clear. Like I want to play F4, and immediately if I play F4, black knight is going to come to G4, and which will trouble the bishop. So H3 stops the G4 square for the knight, so he can play F4 to kick this knight from E5 square. So after H3, white have a stunning move started with knight to H5. Because of this H3, I have weakened this G3 square. So quickly black spotted this knight H5, Queen F2. Still I can try with pawn to F4. So now find the best move. Anyone want to say any move? Yes, anyone have any move to say? Hello? Yes, Pawan has something. Yes, Pawan.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sir, I was thinking of F5.
Very good. So this is a brilliant move which
Because
black
bishop
played.
has very less squares to go, so F5 will
Yes,
help me.
yes, F5 actually frees the black's pieces out. So F5 and white continued. He has a piece which is falling, so he was not really worried if you play F5. So he played a pawn to F4. And now comes a stunning move which white didn't expect. Black simply ignored the piece and did castling. So let's see what is this idea. So castling F into E5 and first F into E4, threatening the queen, right? Now I have to move the queen. So let's say queen to H4. Now comes a very nice and simple move. Bishop takes E5. The idea of bishop G3 queen lost. Knight G2, developing a piece and stopping bishop to G3. And now continue. Come on, play more aggressively. Let's see who can tell this move. Yes, do anyone have any move? Yes, Joshua.
So bishop to f6, attacking the queen. Wherever the queen moves, in
What
case
if I say bishop f6? What if I just move the bishop to g5? Which I don't need to do, but still that's more simple to analyze. You have to take, and I take queen into. See, because I don't have much good squares on my queen, so if you play bishop f6, I can take queen into e4, but that gives to bishop f5 one more tempo. So maybe not bishop to f6. Okay, so here black freed all his pieces. That's the best thing which you can do in any position. Try to get almost all the pieces into the game. So he started, okay, this, look at the pieces. Like almost everything is doing something. Okay, this bishop is also good. Now queen and the rook are not that great. But I can't get the queen immediately with some attack. So he played pawn to b5. So look at the way how I'm opening the pieces. Pawn to b5 opens the rook file. So white continued his play, and that's very natural to attack something. That's pawn to g4. And now comes another nice move. Can anyone tell? Which even white has actually missed. See, the knight is attacked. So we usually see something like knight here or here, right? But both are not actually looking good. But he played knight to g3. Oh, so there are two more attacks, and why he's giving a piece. That you can see only if you have seen this idea of rook f3 double attack. A stunning double attack. So knight g3, knight captures g3, and rook to f3. Yes, Bhupesh.
Ma'am, so queen can't take g3.
Bishop is there.
Bishop will take. Queen can't take g3.
Queen can't take g3.
Excuse me, sir.
Where said queen g3 like an arrow?
Yes, Pavani.
Yes, sir. Now bishop will come to f2, right?
Yeah, bishop.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bishop will come to f2, protecting the knight.
Bishop can come to f2, but even then also you lose a piece now. You come bishop f2. Maybe I'll go a little more, like I'll play e4. So then bishop on f2 is losing with a check, and more than that, you're losing the g3 knight also. So that's going to be too much costly for you. So e3 is more dangerous if you move bishop f2. So so white tried his best move. He played knight g2, rook into e3, bishop to g2. So he also continues his development, and now black to play. See, what I'm trying to tell you is the way the pieces you activate makes you the most stronger player. So right now, I think everyone is doing a lot of puzzles, tactics, and everything. Now you need to actually know how to activate your pieces faster. What is the best way to use it? What are the brilliant moves you can find here? So if you can save more moves, it will be good for you only. So what can black play here? Is there anything that black can try here?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Pavani.
Um, black can try with bishop g3.
Bishop to g3.
Yes.
Bishop g2, bishop to g3.
It's completely winning, right? Black is winning a queen.
But you are losing also the pieces, no?
So knight takes bishop.
It's pinned.
Knight can't take.
It's pinned. 1 second. Bishop to g3. Actually, bishop g3, queen g3. Let's see, bishop g3.
He
Let's
has
see.
a two-piece. He is three-piece up, I think so.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
actually too many pieces.
Two-piece up. Yes, two-piece up.
Sir,
In the 2 pieces for queen. That's too much. Black is not winning. Black is losing. And the 3 pieces are also not doing anything, right? So black is
Okay.
totally lost. So getting a queen is not enough here. Maybe your pieces are much more stronger than getting it. Yes, Srishti.
sir, when Pavani told bishop on g3, then why does the queen take first? Why can't the knight take first?
It's a pin.
Okay, sir.
It's a pin. Knight can't take. Yes, Bhupesh.
But that looks like a very well plan, I think.
Yeah, it's a very well planned. It looks like you're getting a queen, but in return it's a rook and 2 pieces for a queen, and that's not at all enough for a queen. And that too, you see my bishop is on c8, which looks like horrible piece. Horrible. There is no other word. It cannot never come out anyway, any direction, right? And his 3 minor pieces are extremely well placed in the center. That looks like totally lost. Maybe a check like this. Okay, let's continue. Take, and let's say you win this pawn also, trying to get this rook. But this should be enough to win the game. You can no longer attack the b2, and both the pawns will be easily lost. And once I connect my pieces, it's over for you, over for black. Okay, so let's come back. So instead of bishop to g3, black just continued the same principle what I am going to say. Continue using all your pieces. So the same thing which I was telling you, these are the 2 inactive pieces which anyways can't come in. So he played queen to f8, which is the best move. Get one more piece, which is not doing anything. I can operate the queen from the g7 square, and I get maybe bishop c3, bc3, queen c3. It should give a lot of. So here, sorry, he took knight into e4, bc, queen f2. And now comes one more stunning move, rook into e2. This is an outstanding game. Now there is nothing else. If king captures, I just win the queen by rook into e2, right? So only move is queen into, then rook into b2. So the way black is playing very actively with the pieces is simply amazing. So rook into b2, no other option, queen f3, trying to exchange the pieces. Okay, so this is Actually, very difficult for everyone. So he took one more brilliant move. Rook captures the g2. Full of sacrifices. This is what King's Indian is all about. Now queen into queen, king into, and black should be winning because too many pawns. Too many pawns for an exchange. It should be winning there. So rook into g2, queen into f8. Have no other option. Anyways, I'm winning the rook back, right? So queen into f8. King into f8. He played rook c1 and black played bishop to b7. And here white actually resigned the game as there is nothing else to play. So a very nice idea with knight c6 rook b8, but actually it continued more of the king's
Excuse me, sir.
But
Sir, is black going to win or is white going to win?
this one, black is going to win. You can't do anything, no. Here you have to take this, and I take bishop d5. It's a double attack. There's nothing else you can do here. You have to move rook something like a2, right? Then I can even take the bishop a2 was also possible. Okay, then maybe rook a2 is simple. Rook a2 bishop a2. There are too many, 4 pawns and a piece for a rook. Up to 2 bishops with extreme powerful diagonals. So white have no hope here. Yes, Tanush.
So when rook takes c4, so can you please take me to the position when rook takes c4? Huh. Over here, if bishop takes d5, then rook to a4 can come, protecting the knight plus attacking the pawn.
Yeah, that's what. No, I tried looking to a2 then.
Okay, sir.
It's too much. Like too many pieces are like 4 pawns against a rook. 4 pawns plus a bishop for a rook. Impossible to stop this. It's just a few more moves I have to play. That's it.